Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about the invoice verification in SAP MM. We will discuss the configuration required for invoice verification and also the various business processes involved in invoice verification we are going to learn in this video. So the invoice receipt T code is Memo. So the tolerance group is the first configuration we required, and then the journal entry behind the invoice receipt is the GRIR account will be debited and vendor account will be credited. In the previous video we have discussed about the goods receipt. Let me show it. So in this the journal entry is that the inventory account will be debited and GRIR account will be credited. So the GRIR account will be act as intermediate account. I have previously said in the goods receipt configuration. So the same account is debited in the invoice receipt. You can see here. Okay, the same account, GRIR account, is debited in invoice receipt, and the vendor account will be credited. So I have already configured this account and also the vendor account. No need to create any accounts in invoice receipt. Let me change it. Okay. So after posting the invoice, we will also see the subsequent debit, credit memo, and subsequent credit. So let me enter the tolerance group. So the invoice receipt tolerance group we need to configure. So the navigation path for it is enter into the material management, purchasing, in the purchase order. Okay, there is a thing called set tolerance limit for price variances. Let me execute it. So there are two tolerance limits specified. Let me copy these two things. One is PE and other is SE. Let me copy it and change my company code. So here it specifies in euro currency, but no matter. Once we will save this, the currency will be changed to INR. So you can see here. Just click on enter, and these are the two entries I have now created. Just click on save. Okay, I have made the tolerance limits. Okay, let me proceed with the invoice. Let me open a new tab. So the T code is Miro. So before processing, let me check with the open purchase order. So in our previous video, we have posted a goods receipt, and I will process the invoice receipt for that entry. Let me check what is the purchase order I need to post the invoice. Okay, I know the material number is this. Here the scope of list is best. That's not issue. Okay, in my last video I've posted the goods receipt for this PO, and it says it still to be invoiced. We have to invoice for this 20 quantity. Let me post the invoice receipt for this PO. So I'm entering into this. So the transaction here is, it is not a credit memo. Let me change it to invoice. First we will post the invoice, then we will continue with the credit memo like that. So here I just enter the purchase order number. Let me check the purchase order number is okay 17272 17272. Just click on enter. So the transaction is invoice. PO is not an invoicing party. This entry is wrong because you can see that the incoming invoice refers to the company code something different. So first I need to change my company code. So let me change it. So in order to change the company code, just enter into the edit, switch company code. We will change the company code to our company code, that is VERP. So here the company code changes. Now we can post the purchase order number. Just click on enter. So before posting this invoice, kindly configure the tax configuration. So I have posted a video in SAP FICO playlist. Kindly view that. I will also attach the video link in the description of this video. So it is very important. You can post the invoice only after this configuration of the tax. So I enter into the tax. Before that, okay, here I can enter the tax code. That is input tax. This is related to purchase. So I'm entering the input tax here. Just click on enter. So the amount is 20,000 as we have seen here. This report 20,000 and there are 20 quantities of the material. It all displayed here in the invoice. Let me show here. Okay, let me go with the baseline date, that is today's date. You can also enter the payment terms like that here. Okay, enter into the tax tab, click here, calculate tax. The tax amount will be calculated. So after calculating the tax, so the balance amount will be displayed here, including this is the amount including the tax. Let me enter the amount here. Just click on enter. Okay, it shows error, no amount authorization for customer, vendor and company code. So let me go to the new tab. Let me check with the T code OB57. So if this error, if you find this error, kindly you go with go analyze with 3 T codes. I've already made a video in this. I will also share that video in this description of this video. I'll show it. You have to go with these 3 T codes. This thing. OBA0, OBA3, OBA4, and you can also view this video in our SAP FICO playlist. It is very important. If you configure this properly, only you can post this video. Sorry, you can post this invoice. Let me show it. Okay, here this is OB57. So just enter my company code. This is my SAP user is my login ID. So for that login ID, I am assigning the tolerance group. So I have already defined the tolerance group. So those T codes are the OBA0, OBA3 and OBA4. So you kindly view that video. So let me once again post it. The tax code. I have to enter the tax code here. Here the baseline date, and go to the tax tab, click on calculate tax, and then go with the amount. Okay, let me simulate. Still it contains some messages. Let me show. Okay, this is another error. It will come. So let me solve this error. Just enter into the navigation path. Here in material management, you can see the logistics invoice verification. So in the incoming invoice, you can see the maintain default values for tax code. So here click on new entry. We need to give our company code. So I'm maintaining my default tax code, that is this input tax for PERP. So see how important the tax configuration is. Kindly study it. I made it a video. Okay, let me post the invoice. Now I simulate. Okay, it says again the message. Let me post once again. You can see that the tax code is defaultly appearing here. So let me enter into the tax. Okay, payment, the baseline date, and also the tax. Calculate it. 23600. Let's simulate. Okay, this is the thing. So he choose the vendor account, GRR account, and the tax account. So as I said, the same GRR account will be debited and vendor account will be credited. Here itself GRR account will be debited, and the input tax account is also debited to 3600, and the vendor account will be credited. So just click on post. It means there is still some messages. Okay, it shows no taxes on sales purchase are allowed for account 2004. Okay, there is another error. Let me go with the account FS00 to display the ledger. So this account is not tax relevant. It shows error like that. Let me check it. What is the error? It is not or allowed for account. No taxes on sales purchase are allowed for account. The input tax is not allowed in the GRIR account. It shows like this. Let me check. Okay, the tax category, I'm including the tax category. Okay, just save this account. Now let me check the invoice. You can directly save it. I just want to save it. Let me post. So you can see the document number is created. So the invoice is posted. Let me display the accounting documents. Click on follow on documents. So you can find that the input tax account is debiting and GRI account is also debiting and the vendor account is credited. So we can view the accounting document also. So let me show in the purchase order ME22N. Let me change the purchase order. Okay, let me click on document overview on. This is not my purchase order. Let me open the purchase order. That is this purchase order 272. It is not here. See, we could not find our purchasing document here. Let me open it. The number is 272. Okay, this is our document. Okay, let me click on purchase order history. Okay, the goods receipt and invoice receipt will be updated in our purchase order history. You can see this. Okay, now it's time to study the subsequent debit. So the subsequent debit is the one, say for example, the vendor is posted the invoice, is presented the invoice, and after that he is charging some additional charges. So in order to enter that additional charges, we need to post the subsequent debit. So the subsequent debit can be posted only if the invoice is posted. So let me post the subsequent debit for the invoice we have posted just now. Just enter that into the T code Mero. So now I will change the invoice into subsequent debit. So let me enter the same purchase order number. Just click on enter. So I'm going to pay some extra amount to my vendor. So here I'm just want to pay some additional 1000 rupees to my vendor. So leave behind this quantity. It will not impact anything. So the inventory is going will not affect, and only the amount. This amount will be added to my vendor. So just click on enter. So maintain tolerance limit for tolerance key. See the next tolerance limit. The key this key specifies. Let me I have double clicked on this error. Here there is a option to enter into the configuration. Define tolerance limit. Okay, here just want to give the tolerance limit. Okay, let me come out from this thing. Now I enter into the tolerance limit. Okay, let me copy it. No, this is not. The error is PP. Tolerance key is PP. Okay, the price variance. Okay, just selecting it. I will copy it. Change the company code. Okay, just change the company code. Okay, the same way I have to get back. Okay, let me post the invoice once again. There is a subsequent debit. Okay, subsequent debit. I'll enter the amount. Okay, specify the baseline date, that is today's date, and also have the tax for the amount. Okay, just click on save. Okay, the subsequent debit will be posted. So by this document, I will pay extra 1000 rupees to my vendor. So now let me check with my purchase order ME22N. We can also display that is ME23N. Okay, this is not my purchase order. Let me change the purchase order. Purchase order history. So you can see that the subsequent debit has been posted for 1000 rupees. Now let me move on to the next, that is credit memo. So the credit memo will be posted if if we return back the goods to our vendor, we will post the credit memo. Let me show it. Okay, just enter into the Miro. So let me change this thing as credit memo, the same purchase order. Okay, I will return back 10 quantities to the vendor. Okay, I will specify the baseline date, today's date, enter the tax. I will just calculate the tax also. Okay, the amount, I think the amount is wrong. Okay, let me change the amount also. Okay. So I'm posting the credit memo. So I'm returning back the 10 quantities. Let me check with the purchase order. Okay, let me change the purchase order. Enter into the purchase order history. Let me show it. So you can see the line item here, 10 quantities is deducted from our stock. Similarly, there are 10,000 is debited. So you can also see that the stock also will be reduced. Let me show the T code to display the stock is MMBE. Let me execute it. The same material. So I have already posted many goods receipts. So in order to adjust this amount, I have to post the subsequent credit to the invoice. Okay, let me post it. Okay, I will change to subsequent credit for the same purchase order. So need to adjust the 10,000 rupees. Okay. The tax also. Let me save it. Okay, the document is posted. Let me view the purchase order history. So it shows so you can see now the invoice receipt value is 10,000. So all the documents we have posted is displayed here. Example, V is the document type for goods receipt, and RE is for invoice receipt, and this is for subsequent debit and credit. If I click on it, we will see the documents. So this is the subsequent credit we have posted. The document number will be displayed here. Similarly, this thing. Okay, this is the 1,000 rupees we have posted the credit memo. Sorry, the subsequent debit. So we can also see the accounting documents by clicking on follow on documents. So this thing. So likewise, we can analyze the reports in my purchase order history itself. So all those records will be updated in my purchase order history. So I think it will be clear. So you also can try this, but before trying posting the invoice verification, kindly update the tags and tolerance group that I will make link of those videos in the description of this video. So thank you guys. We can see in the next video. Thank you.